I want to talk about this. This is, I think, a positive story. This is via Deadline, but it's also being talked about on other publications. Dan Trachtenberg is set to direct the new standalone Predator movie Badlands as 20th Century expands on the universe. And I'll read this article, and I'll kind of come back with my thoughts and then hear your thoughts as well. Following the massive success of the Predator pick Prey, 20th Century is moving forward with the next film as Deadline's hearing. Dan Trachtenberg is returning to write and direct Badlands, a new standalone pick in the franchise that is expected to shoot later this year. The film is a high priority for the studio, and sources say Trachtenberg and executives are already meeting with talent for the lead role. Trachtenberg co-wrote script with Patrick Eisen. Plot details are being kept under wraps, but then it will feature everyone's favorite extraterrestrial big game hunter. It is also not known about release plans. The last film exclusively streamed on Hulu, breaking numerous viewership records for the streamer. But given that 20th Century has been very much back in the theatrical game with films like Boogeyman and the upcoming Alien Romulus film bombing in theaters. Oh, that's going to be in theaters too. Interesting. A theatrical premiere isn't out of the question. When Prey premiered in the summer of 2022 and not only broke streaming records for Hulu, but earned some of the best reviews in the franchise's history, that culminated in a nomination for Best Movie at this year's Emmys. Since that successful relaunch, 20th Century is looking to not just move forward with another film, but expand on the universe of Trachtenberg spearheading it. Sort of say, well, it's still in early development, but Prey 2 is still in the works that would return to the film's original setting and the film star Amber Midthunder potentially returning. So just reading all this, again, just my instant reaction, I think this is really good news. I think Dan Trachtenberg is kind of one of the most underrated filmmakers right now. He hasn't done like a lot theatrically. Before he did Prey, he did the sci-fi spin-off movie 10 Cloverfield Lane, which I absolutely loved. I thought the movie was great, where it wasn't a direct sequel to Cloverfield, but it took place in universe. It was just a story that, was happening, in another location, focusing on these three people played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead and John Gallagher Jr. and John Goodman in a bunker during this alien invasion. I love that movie, and I was excited to see what he was going to do next. And he didn't really do anything like big for a while. He did television. I think he directed some episodes of The Boys, or the first episode of The Boys, and he's done some other stuff too, like on TV. But then Prey was his next big project. And when I heard he was going to do the next entry in the Predator franchise, I was like, okay, I think that's a smart choice. Especially I think Predator franchise needed that, since the last movie was The Predator, which I think is easily the worst entry in the franchise. Not counting maybe Alien versus Predator Requiem, but The Predator is definitely one of the worst. And I really enjoyed Prey. I thought it was great. It wasn't on my top 10 list for that particular year, 2022, but it was in like my honorable mentions. I thought it was great. Like, I love the back to basics approach. I love that it was a period piece, taking place in around the 1730s, focusing on this Native American woman and this Native American tribe and the Predators of their first time coming to Earth and encountering all the flora and fauna on Earth, but also humans. I thought that was a great concept. I thought it really, really worked for me. And obviously it worked for a lot of other people, and they're going to continue this on. I think it would be cool to kind of have the Predator. I like the idea this is going to be like more standalone. I mean, we're going to get probably a pre-sequel at some point, sure. But like this news specifically, I think it's really awesome that it's like, hey, let's kind of go to different points and periods in history all around the world and see how the Predator interacted with humanity, and I think that's awesome, making these kind of period piece Predator films. So, I'm sure we can speculate as to where it might take place. There were rumors, I want to say, like maybe like a couple months ago, maybe it was even like a few weeks ago, that they were saying that there was apparently rumblings of a Predator movie taking place during World War II. So maybe that's what Badlands is referring to, or maybe even like World War I. I know people have been wanting to like have a Predator movie take place in Japan, which I think would be really cool, like feudal Japan, like Predator versus Samurai, which you kind of get like a little bit of that in Predators. But in any case, the Predator franchise has been brought back to prominence thanks to things like Prey and 20th Century, and Disney seem to have like a lot of confidence in. I do too. Dan Trachtenberg, I think, is a very talented director, and I'm interested to see what he's going to do, also along with the inevitable Prey 2. But what about you guys? How do you feel about this news? I think this is pretty cool. Let me see what you guys are saying. Let me move a few things over here as well. I'm going to scroll up here. Yes. Are the Predators searching for the power of autism again? Thankfully, I think they dropped that. I think they're like, we're not gonna. Man, that to this day, I'm just like, there was like a period for a little while where Hollywood was like, oh yeah, we're gonna like autism. We're gonna make that a superpower. And they like really leaned into that for like a number of films and TV shows. Like they have that like one TV show, I forget what it's called, like The Good Doctor, where that main character, he has autism, but that gives him like, you know, he's able to see things that ordinary people aren't able to see because of his super autism. And then you had like that Ben Affleck movie, The Accountant, where his autism made him the deadliest assassin in the world. And then you have it where we find out that the predators, like the reason why they hunt is not because it's based on like, you know, their culture or anything like that or the hierarchy of society. It's like, no, they just want to inject themselves with all the autism that they can get so they become super predators. It's like, what? And so, yeah, I'm glad that is kind of tapered off. We're not seeing that. Although I think wasn't announced that they're doing an Accountant sequel of Ben Affleck. So I'm like, I don't know about that. We'll see. But I don't believe they're hunting for autism again. I think they've gone back to basics. This is just part of their society and their culture, which I think is much better. Oh, Lord. So we're getting Prey 2 and Badlands. Well, Badlands announced, and it wasn't specifically announced Prey 2, but everyone's saying like that's probably inevitable. So, which is cool. I hope the Alien movie and this new Predator movie gets a theatrical release. I wish they got. Yeah, you know what? I understand like in hindsight why they were nervous about releasing it. I think not because of the quality of it. I mean, I think they knew that what they had was of quality, but maybe they were just nervous because of how, the last movie underperformed and how terrible it was. And same for the Alien franchise. I mean, the Predator franchise, in terms of consistency, in terms of the film's quality, like it's better than Alien. Like Alien only has really 2 good movies, and I think all the rest are pretty terrible. Like Alien vs. Predator, I think is a fun, dumb movie. It's a bad, good movie in a way. But outside of that, the last good Alien movie came out in 1986. Where Predator, I think the first Predator is a classic. It's a sci-fi action classic. Predator 2, while not nearly as good as the first one, I still think is a fun movie. It's got some problems, got some flaws, but there's a lot I like about it. I love the setting in the city. I think Danny Glover is actually really good as the lead. I like that's kind of like dystopian LA. There's a lot of cool, interesting things in like the Gain War. I like that. I like that in the film quite a bit. And then Predators, I thought was great. I think for a while that was my favorite sequel. And I think that movie was really, really good. And then Predator, which was awful. And which I think the Predator, in terms of just like all the Predator movies, not counting AVP Requiem and stuff like that, like the Predator's like really the only bad Predator movie for me. And then Prey, which I think for me is probably my second favorite Predator film at this point. I thought that was just so great, and I love their approach to that. And yeah, but I think that because the Predator wasn't, well liked and outperformed, maybe they were nervous. But I think now I would not be shocked now if they release this movie theatrically and possibly Prey 2 theatrically, which I think that would be awesome. I think that because people were talking about that for a while, it was reviewed extremely well. It got the best reviews of the series since the original film. So I think now they would be incentivized to release it, which I think is great. And probably, and at this point, with all these studios losing money on streaming, I think they want to push these movies out there. And again, I like that Prey didn't have like the biggest of budgets too. Like they can still have like it be like a moderately budgeted movie and probably make a lot of money off of it. So I'm hoping that's the case. Let's see. If it's anything like Prey, I'm in. Also, give me Predator during the Edo period. Yep. That would be awesome. Feudal Japan. Prey is a great way to return to basics and restoring the film series. Agreed. Let's see. It says something about Predator in the feature. What? I'm not sure what you mean, Austin. From what I read, Badlands is supposed to take place in the future, kind of like Predator. Oh, is that what's going to be doing? Oh, interesting. Very cool. Predator's super underrated. Predator's did the unforgivable for me and killed Johnny Trejo too early. Joke aside, I like the movie well enough. I liked it too. The Good Doctor. I'm a surgeon! The Good Doctor who sounds like if a C-3PO was a human. I really like Praise Clown Freaks. I hope for the next to be as good or better Predator Japan. Guns vs. Swords, not fair fight. But the samurai, I can't underestimate them. What I would like to see, even though I know a studio wouldn't take the risk, I want a true Alien vs. Predator, one that takes place in the Predator homeworld, have it be about them hunting the xenomorphs-like game, and a human ship crash lands in the homeworld so that humans are caught in the middle, and have it be an adult animated film. That's just me. I'm gonna say the unpopular thing, and honestly, I just don't want Alien and Predator interact with each other anymore. I just don't want to. I think it's fun in the comics and the video games, but in terms of the movies, it just never really worked. It's just what they've done. I think has been really dumb. And like their sensibilities, I think, are very different from each other. And their sensibilities, in their best entries work for them. But like when you combine them, I still think they work. I just don't really need to see them interact ever again, like theatrically. I don't really need that. But a lot of people do love that. So to each their own, of course. You can buy Prey on Blu-ray now. Matter of fact, here, hold on, give me a second here. I got something. This was sent to me by Ryan Walterson. He sent me the Blu-ray of Prey, so I own it. So I'm glad that you can buy this physically. So this is pretty cool. Yeah, no, I really love this movie a lot. I thought it was great. Let's see here. Toshiba, no more Alien movies. I understand, Toshiba. It's been rough. Like literally, like the last good Alien movie came out in 1986, which is close to 40 years ago. I'm curious, though, about this, because they got 2 Alien things in production. They have the movie with Fede Alvarez directing, which I'm concerned about, because I don't really like Fede Alvarez as a director or producer or writer or anything else, really. But, I'll give it a shot. And the one Alien project I'm actually interested in is the TV series being created by Noah Hawley, who is a talented filmmaker and writer and director, and showrunner. So that's the one I'm actually interested in. And his recent comments about how he's just ignoring Ridley Scott's Prometheus and Alien Covenant, and he doesn't consider them canon. I think that's fucking brilliant. So that put a smile on my face. Like, yes, please ignore that shit. So I love hearing that. So I think what they're gonna probably end up doing is, ignoring all the bad entries and just kind of like, in terms of canon, if they have to reference anything, they'll probably only focus on the good movies, or have them be separate in the case of like something like Prey, which would be great. But I understand your trepidation. I'm trepidatious too of the Alien franchise. At this point, it's just like, all right, well, show me what you have. But I have no expectations. Fede Alvarez, I have subterranean expectations. Noah Hawley, I'm kind of going and like, all right, let me see what you have. I'm not getting too excited. True Tale Prey was really good. Let's see here. Trachtenberg is a toxic director. Yes, we were just talking about that, Pro. Welcome. That's literally what we're talking about right now. Freddy versus Predator. Oh, man, all these versus movies. I want a Predator movie set during the Vietnam War. Ooh, where a squad of U.S. Marines and a squad of North Vietnamese had to work together. That would be fucking cool. I like that. That's a good idea, Deadpool. I love that you can go back to the jungle environment, too. Very nice. A little bit of the familiar, but something new added into it as well. Different time period, different decade. During a war. I think that could be fun. Let's see here. What do we got? Basically, I'm very happy Hulu released Prey. Now, please release the new Hellraiser and Physical Barbarian. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm so fucking pissed that Barbarian's not released on Physical, because I would love to own Barbarian on Blu-ray. I really like the Hellraiser movie, too. Do the Predators have jobs outside of hunting? It'd be cool to see one of them as a doctor, hospital drug. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know how their society works. All I know is it's based around hunting and honor and things. But outside of that, I don't know. I want Predators versus Pirates, like Pirates and Jamaica Pirates. That'd be cool. Other people actually like Alien 3, and I do. I'm not sure. I think your statement got cut off. I still need to buy the Prey Blu-ray. Been wanting to buy it. Yes. Xylon, good to see you. Friday greetings. Looking forward to more Predator films. Predator interacting during different eras of human history would be wild. Yes. I agree. I think that's what we're going to be getting. As long as Dan's directing them, I'm there. Yeah, I was curious to see what he was going to do next. If he was going to just move on to something else, or just continue on. Looks like he's continuing on. Or at least, I don't know if he's directing Prey 2, but we do know that he's directing another Predator movie, so that's neat. I'm one of the people who actually like Alien 3, and I don't really hate Prometheus, but Resurrection, Requiem, and Extinction, or just Extinction? I'm not familiar with Extinction. I don't think that's a Extinction. I don't think that's an Alien movie. That might be a video game. There's Alien vs. Predator Extinction, the video game, which is a top-down asymmetric strategy game. I have a lot of issues with Alien 3. But to each their own. And I've gone on to, I've talked about Prometheus and Covenant and all that. Check out my reviews, Chad, my spoiler reviews, my scene by scene breakdowns of all those movies are on my YouTube channel right now. At this point, just keep Ridley Scott away from the Alien franchise. It's just no. We'll put your name on it. We're going to put your name on it, but do not come into the writing room. Please do not. Let's see here. Western. Oh, or like we were talking about Wednesday Predator versus 90 Theories Gangster bootleg. That'd be cool. Yeah. I like the video game. That was in the Concrete Jungle, I think. That was pretty awesome. Covenant, you meant Covenant. Gotcha. Barbarian was my favorite horror movie that year. Same. That was my favorite horror movie that year, too, Erica. I love that movie. I thought it was great. I've seen it like 3 times since it came out. Once in the theater and then twice. One, I think, because I did an audio commentary for it. And I did a spoiler review for that movie. And then I just saw it just for my own personal pleasure. Such a great movie. Love it. Katrina, hi, hands. Good to see you, Katrina. We're just talking about the Predator franchise. They announced some new movies. We're getting a new entry and Prey 2, which is pretty cool. Just showing off my Blu-ray that I was gifted recently, which is pretty awesome. Just moving some things around here. We're good to have here. My brain is broken. No problem. My brain's a little broken, too. They've been making good alien stuff, just not in movies, Alien Isolation. Oh, I love Alien Isolation. No, believe me. In terms of just, like, alien stories, that's, like, the best alien story since Aliens, honestly. Like, I would have ranked just, like, in terms of my enjoyment, Aliens, and Alien Isolation, no question. I love that game. I'm so fucking bummed that it didn't do very well commercially. It didn't do well enough to where they were going to make... Because they were going to make a sequel. They kind of ended it in such a way where it's like, I'm going to get a sequel, and then it didn't happen. I played Fireteam Elite. Some good audio dramas like Alien 3 original screenplay. Oh, yeah. The comic books and stuff. Yeah. What was it? The William Gibson script? Is that what it was? I want the weird touching aliens from the first one back. The one where it's like... I've talked about that before in my reviews and discussions for Alien's my favorite. I know a lot of people would probably say, like, Aliens, and I love Aliens. Like, Aliens is in my top 20 movies of all time easily, but, like, Alien is, like, in my top 3. And I just love the setting and just the creature and how weird it is. And the way the alien, that's because they just, kind of eventually, Cameron kind of did his own, like, breed of the alien, because you have, like, this is a drone, and then in the film Aliens, it's like warriors and the Queen stuff, and so then that kind of became the prototypical, like, alien that we would later get, for so many of the other films in the franchise, and other iterations, video games, comics, etc. But I like that with the drone. It was weird. It was just odd the way it interacted with certain things, and maybe that was because it was separated from the colony and the nest, and maybe that's why it acts the way it does. Like, you have the scene where I've always gone back to this, and I love the shot, but it's when the alien encounters Parker and Lambert, and when it's approaching, I think it's after it kills Parker. I'm trying to remember specifically. I think it's maybe after it kills Parker, but the alien just starts doing this. Like, it's feeling the air, and I don't know why it does that, but it's such an interesting fucking shot. It just looks so unusual to me. I'm just like, God, I love that shot. It's so creepy to me. Let's see. So yeah, I want that back too as well. I would very much like that. That'd be really cool. I had an idea for a Predator movie where the Predator is the main character and is being hunted by humans. It's like the First Blood, but that would be kind of interesting. Yeah, it was high as fuck. Yeah, there was something wrong with it. There was something wrong with it. The way it was acting was very weird. It was sluggish, but still fucking incredibly deadly. I thought that was just so cool. Like, I would 100% recommend you listen to Alien 3 original screenplay audio drama. I've read the script. I've read the actual script. I haven't, and I've read a little bit of the comic too. But I've read the William Gibson script. I love this. Like, one of my favorite audio dramas. Or I haven't listened to the drama though. Or there's a novel and comic books based on the same screenplay. Yeah, I've seen like I've read some panels or some pages from the comic book. Preview. If you will. And I think I knew about the audio drama because don't they get like some of the original actors? Don't they get in Michael Biehn and Lance Henriksen? Don't they get them in there for that? As far as I know. Yes. So yeah, but in any case, chat, like I'm really excited about this. I think this sounds great for the Predator franchise. Prey was such a good movie. It was such a great movie, and I think it brought new life back into it, interest. I think it also just worked as a gateway because you didn't need to really watch any of the other movies to watch this film to understand what's going on. You don't need to watch like Predator or Predators or Predator 2. Although there's a little fun little thing for Predator 2 in there for Predator fans, but it's like at the very, 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 very end, and even then it's not like like it's important for you to know exactly what that is, but it's cool, right? So, yeah, Yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited what they're gonna, and I hope it's the same case for Alien, chat. You know, again, I'm a little trepidatious with Fede Alvarez as a director, helming that project. But Noah Hawley, I have a lot more confidence in, so I'm hoping that will be pretty. I hope both will be good, inevitably. So we'll see. We'll eventually see.